We have 3 different kinds. Here's the foam style, large canister. This here says it's 70 grams. Here are the 2 small compact ones. This is the traditional spray, like a stream, and then it starts to spread a little bit as it goes out. Maybe like a 4-inch spread a couple feet away. And here's the Spitfire, which will do the mist, like more like a fogger. And I'm gonna stand over here in the target. And now this target is right now is about, I would say, 10 feet away. Okay. I know with the foam one, this one has a tremendous reach, and you can hold it down and spray, and it'll keep spraying, but it kind of spreads everywhere. So you can look at that. So upon the initial shooting, I mean, look at the spread of that, and that shot up initially. So for me, holding it, first time using it, that's what happens. That was about the 2nd time I've sprayed that one. We could try now this squirt one. This one's, you know, EDC carryable. You can put this in your purse. This one sprays a straight stream. And it keeps spraying if you hold it, which is nice. So long as it's compressed, you can keep getting a spray, but you have to aim. Now the Spitfire, this fog one, this one won't even reach the target. This one barely glazes the target at this distance of about, I would say again, roughly about 8 feet. And I can show you now on the ground what I'm talking about. That's great. My dog just stands there and now is licking her mouth. Okay, anyway, you can see here is the Spitfire. It doesn't really reach very far, it just kind of drizzles. And you can see the actual foam one, that thing caused a mess. It gets everywhere, and obviously if you smear it around. The issue here is if the person you're spraying isn't deterred by it and then gets angry and rushes you, then you both now have this sort of slime all over you guys, smearing, and pepper spray getting on you also. So that is an issue. And then you can see where the saber, the actual hold on. The actual stream spray, you can see how it hits. So you got options. So far, everyone I keep showing, though, the mist style doesn't even hit. You can see. I'll spray the chest, and you can see what I'm talking about. So right now I'm only maybe 4.5 feet, barely 5 feet from the target. You can see. And on the actual target, look, it didn't even hit the chest. I mean, you can actually visually see much of the mist. And that's the problem with this type, unless it has more reach. I mean, it has to reach like 8 feet, 10 feet like these other ones are. It's just not powerful enough. And it's just barely glazing. Honestly, it just gets in the air, and if it's windy, it's just going to brush back at you. I don't really think, so far everyone I've shown, that spray style, that sort of like fogger, has not felt convinced by it. They've felt that that's not good enough. Either the type that shoots a stream, which you can see how the stream opens up as it reaches the target, so you still have to be kind of precise, or the foam style, which splatters everywhere and starts to drip. I think the foam one, to be honest, is the most effective. It kind of scatters at close distance. That kind of spreads to like between like a 3 feet box, and as it shoots further, even then you can see the target. It covered like a 2 foot kind of spray. It's quite impressive, and it has a lot of range. I think the home foam types are definitely the best. But again, the issue here will be whether or not somebody is willing to carry this. And even this style right here, this cap can kind of break off. This cap can be kind of pried off if it's in your backpack. All of them leak afterwards a little bit. That's just to be expected now. For example, you can see afterwards using it, it's on the cap. Same goes for this other one. So you have to be cautious that you know, if you're testing, practicing, training, you can see it it kind of drips. So here's an example of pepper spray failing. It's not so much to show that this specific brand, but this can happen to any of the brands. So you can see December 2014. We're barely in 2014 right now, starting. But you can see, look, it's barely anything. It's like similar in size. Shoots far. This may be unorthodox, but I figured to simulate the effect of constantly the canister being shaken, perhaps while someone is jogging, I'm just going to put it in my tumbler. This is my older one. I have a more advanced one now, so I can spare this one if anything is to happen or get damaged. So right now 2 o'clock, 2:07, 2:08. Let's try. Okay, it's been about 8 minutes, and to be honest, I don't want to push it too hard. This is pretty extreme. I mean, we're talking, that was thousands of vibrations already, so I'm gonna leave it in there for right now. I don't really want to handle it in case there is any issues with it possibly bursting. And we'll wait a little bit. I'll continue this test. I'll let you guys know what happens. Now, the problem here with this design is that it can be sprayed accidentally if sat on. You can see, to activate it isn't just to push forward. See here, this is actually my mother's, and you can see the spring has lost its tension. Typically it's supposed to be like that. And maybe it's a combination of some dirt inside. It still has some spring to it, but I would say more that there's just a buildup of pocket lint or her purse lint. I used to teach self-defense and various martial arts, and also had the honor of working with 2 rape crisis centers, so I'm a big advocate for good citizens having some form of self-defense. Through the years, I've had the unique position of selling and giving out many pepper spray models, and also constantly demonstrating them to people. So here are the 5 things I want you to look for when considering pepper spray. First, pepper spray is a distance weapon. You can see here on the Spitfire model it says 8 feet. In my testing, I felt 5 feet was the average for this model. But the foam spray from the home protection kit, same by Saber Red, says it only reaches 10 feet, but in actual testing it shot almost close to 12. So I would say you're going to have to test it. Find a model, buy it, spray it, and see how comfortable you feel with that distance. And there are 3 types of spray, as you already seen. Foam, you have the stream type right here, and then you have the mist. It's not unlikely that in a situation someone missed with the stream type, or be too far away with the mist type, or forget to keep pressing the button when they're spraying. And these are all crucial mistakes that someone can make that can make the situation worse because the element of surprise is gone. They have incidences when pepper spray is taken from the victim and turned against them. It's such a common occurrence that you can find models of pepper spray that are designed, they have a lanyard that connects and you wear it, and if it's pulled out of your hand, the pepper spray no longer works. So the key thing to remember is that the more closer the aggressor is, the more likely you will be forced into a physical confrontation. For most people, if you are spraying them at this distance and causing them pain, their natural reaction would be to rush you and grab you and stop you from spraying them more. The second point to consider is that pepper spray is a pain compliance weapon. You are causing pain in order to hopefully stop the aggressor, and they have to respond to that pain by conceding. On the other hand, it is possible that causing the aggressor pain will just escalate their level of force. They can still swing wildly at you or grab you, and also shoot you in your general direction. So I will repeat this. Pepper spray is just one part of your system for defending yourself. You need to have other tools or skills in case the situation escalates. Now, the third thing to consider is carry method. You have to realize that pepper spray is a weapon. They make them with safety features so that you don't accidentally have a discharge, but if you put it in your purse, in your back pocket, and you sit on it, and there is a discharge, you are solely to blame. Even with all the safety features, for example, this one's really great. The cap has fallen off because, you know, just brushing in your pocket, it falls off. This one is my personal one, and even on my keychain, that happens. It'll easily just slide aside. If there was a press, it'll deploy. This type here, if you have this in your pocket or backpack, this one can easily be pried off. I always look for models with some sort of feature that lets me know which way is forward. Spitfire's pointer style is very natural. Also with the pointer style, you don't have to raise your hand, as you saw in that picture. You can shoot it from your hip, and you're not raising your hand in this sort of fashion, which signals your intentions, helping the opponent possibly cover their face. And also with the pointer style, since you don't have to raise your hand so high, it also makes it less likely that the opponent can control your hand and keep it down. Unfortunately, I haven't found a model that combines the best of all these features: reach, safety, and ergonomics. And lastly, I want to talk about roll. For those who have not seen my disaster preparation videos, my theory is STSR. It's an acronym, and what I'm basically saying is that in a situation, your skills determine the role that you are going to perform, and also the equipment you should consider having. It is a consumable product. They all have expiration dates, much like food, and it must be tested periodically and replaced. My biggest concern with pepper spray is that a person relying on it, having compression when the situation arises. As you saw, some can fail. With the current technology, a person can only have an estimate by realistically testing it frequently, and even then, if there is a pressure loss, it could be sudden. So this is why I say it's a lifestyle. A person must be dedicated to testing and replacing their pepper spray frequently. And also, through this kind of preparation mentality, want to continue their effort for self-preservation by augmenting carrying pepper spray with some other method of self-defense, such as physical training. So when you look at the various systems out there of home defense, personal defense, you know, there's options like tactical flashlights, minimum 840 lumens. You have compact self-defense knives, like the knives that I make, the ones that got me into this whole industry in the first place. And even then, pepper spray, guns, they all have their purpose, their use in that point of time in the continuum of force. So if you have questions, I have more videos on this subject. You can browse my channel. And as always, you can also email me directly if you have any questions. And last, I just want to repeat one more time because it's so important. When you're buying pepper spray, think about it's a distance weapon, it's a pain compliance weapon, how you're going to carry it, the ergonomics, and understanding what it is, the role of it. It's a weapon, it requires some training, it requires some thought to it, and some dedication. And all weapons are always part of a system. Remember that when you press it, press and then continue pressing. Train to do that. If you find a particular model that you like, and through your training you've emptied it out, use that as your training model and always practice pushing and following through and holding it down. So as always, I hope this video was informational. I do these videos to contribute and hopefully help someone out there protect themselves or their loved ones. Spitfire by Saber Red. This is now the third time I'll be deploying this spray on this specific canister right here, and this will be my fifth time actually using the product. I'll be obviously trying to hit this target. I'm hoping this video will convey two things. One, that this is a mist type of spray, so it can wave back on you depending if there is a breeze, so you're going to be fighting against that. The camera right now is set up about, I would say, 6 feet away from this target. So I'm going to stand 6 feet back right where the camera is and spray. You can see that isn't exactly a stream of any sort. It's over there. I can breathe it in now. I can feel it. take a deep breath and just show that it did reach the paper, but it reached the paper in a sort of mist. So hold on. You can barely tell, but the paper has a little bit of it's a little bit transparent